YNW Juvy's father has just revealed why YNW Melly is guilty, sharing information that we never knew, including issues between Sakchaser and Juvy just days before the crime went down. Here's what you need to know. After day 2 of the YNW Melly trial, YNW Juvy's father, on his way home from the courtroom, would record himself revealing new evidence in his vehicle. We would see reports of the father of YNW Juvy explained why he believes YNW Melly is responsible for the crime.
From the day one, I believe that Melly was responsible for my son on October 26th when I first heard the story, because his explanation, when I finally talked to him in Bortlen on a FaceTime, their response and how they was reacting, they showed no remorse. They didn't act like they was grieving, like they lost a best friend or nothing. They was, in my opinion, they was in the best spirits. They wasn't reacting to, they act like they didn't have to take a loss at all. That's how I took it. And then when I was talking to them, I still had in the back of my mind that something's not right.
Juvy's father mentions an altercation that happened 2 days before their passing between Melly and Sakchaser, even involving YNW Melly having his golden grills messed with. Now this only adds to the motives that I will be mentioning later. However, later in today's trial session, we would also see reports of YNW Melly's reaction when a firearm expert tells the judge that he didn't bring the item because he has no idea what item was used for this crime, alongside YNW Melly's reaction.
Why not?
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay. Do you have a...
Now this was just one of very few major wins for YNW Melly so far during this trial. However, the first time seeing YNW Melly in his trial, we saw reports of YNW Melly seen smiling and in good spirits in court as his trial started today. However, the mood would quickly change inside of the courtroom, as it was later reported YNW Bortlen had powder residue on his hands, as well as a change of clothing when he dropped off Sakchaser and Juvy to the hospital. YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly were the only 2 men in the vehicle with them, including a video of a lawyer breaking it down.
Evan's lies, those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry. There were 3 phones.
Now, YNW Melly's lawyer revealed a lot, revealing that YNW Bortlen is the one that lied to the feds when they were asking Bortlen on what happened to Sakchaser and Juvy at the local hospital, practically putting all of the blame on YNW Bortlen, as well as with Bortlen having a change of clothing, making it very obvious the YNW rapper knew something was going to go down on this night, as why would he bring a change of clothing to a recording studio at 4 in the morning? The interview of Bortlen lying to the feds was also shared in the courtroom.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be stuff, evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Shortly after, we would then see the famous rap lawyer confirming that this was YNW Melly's attorney, putting all of the blame on YNW Bortlen.
And we have an absolute shell being dropped by the defense, a mic drop moment. The lead attorney on Melly's defense team telling the jury that Cortland Henry lied to police when he showed up at Memorial Hospital that morning. He lied about what happened. He lied about not having a phone on him. That Cortland Henry, this is according to Melly's attorney, that Cortland Henry showed up at that hospital with a change of clothes on, and that Cortland Henry showed up at that hospital with powder residue on his hands.
Once it was revealed that that was YNW Melly's lawyer, this would shake social media. This led many to believe that Melly is just trying to put the blame on Bortlen, in other words, now snitching on YNW Bortlen. As when YNW Melly's attorney was done his set for speaking, we would then see YNW Melly as well as his attorney chatting and even laughing inside of the courtroom.
Oh, Jada is Anthony's? What about Chris's? Do they live here or in Barrel? The mom? Who lives with you at 18521 Southwest 44th Street?
Which seems like very strange behavior. However, on the next set of conversation, we would then see reports of prosecutors show video of YNW Melly hopping inside of the vehicle that involved his friend's passings, showing this footage to the courtroom.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
That never-before-seen footage now confirms that YNW Melly was inside of the vehicle with Bortlen, Sakchaser, and Juvy. What we also learned was after the crime was committed, when YNW, Bortlen, and Melly sat around for that 40 minutes before getting medical attention, we learned what Bortlen and Melly were doing in that time span. As it was shared in the courtroom, prosecutors say Fredo Bang picked up YNW Melly after the incident involving Juvy and Sakchaser.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
Revealing that YNW Melly used that 40-minute time span to call Fredo Bang on the phone, asking for him to pick him up. Now this answers the question of why YNW Melly began sprinting down the road on foot all by himself after the crime. YNW Bortlen used the 40 minutes to change his clothing, as we learned earlier, as well as creating the excuse that he was going to tell the feds at the hospital. With all of this case-breaking evidence being shared in the courtroom, this would sadly end the first day of trial. However, the following day of trial shared even more important moments. The trial started with reports of YNW Melly prayed in court this morning before his trial started. However, it wasn't until the first recess where we noticed unusual activities by YNW Melly, as videos would begin going viral online of YNW Melly acting kinda strange. Now this would continue to go on, as in the next recess and trial, YNW Melly is seen doing weird head movements as well as flexing his diamond grill in the courtroom. I will remind you that this is a trial that could result in the penalty for this man, and he doesn't seem bothered at all. Then it would be at this moment where rappers would begin reacting to trial moments where Rap OG Boosie would share this being at the actual trial. He would then also share on his Twitter account, #MellyTrial. I'm not missing no more rap trials. This is education, no cap. Watching the defense and prosecution drop bars, then looking at the jurors, trying to read them is crazy. I want to study law. I want to try it. I think I could be a defense attorney or at least help out some attorneys. I'm motivated. Lil Durk would also then share #FreeMelly on his Instagram, alongside a video of him on the phone with Melly.
Bust, you got 10 piece. Bust harder than mine. It's me. It's y'all. I say you had 10 piece. Sean.
This would even later result in Drake sharing his thoughts on YNW Melly as well.
A kid like YNW Melly who just has the craziest melodies, pain in his voice, you know, but not afraid to just be like, yeah, sure, like I might be this way on road, but in my music, this is what I enjoy doing.
Which then leads into Kodak Black sharing his favorite moments of YNW Melly.
Yeah, man, free that boy Melvin, man, free Melly. Man, stop playing. We're not playing like that. Oh, you gonna
However, the rapper's reactions would slowly end as the next bit of evidence was shared in trial. This would later result in the motives for YNW Melly to commit this crime, which is probably why the reaction stopped. After months and months of research, they realized that days before the passing of YNW Sakchaser and Juvy, on YNW Sakchaser's phone was text messages found between him and YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend, as YNW Sakchaser was caught messing around with her a few years ago. The feds would then begin trying to get the ex-girlfriend to sit for a deposition, though she kept rejecting and saying she wanted no part with this case. However, the ex-girlfriend's mom was more than happy to. So during the interview, the police officer would ask the girlfriend's mom, "Were you aware that Sakchaser sent your daughter some rather special type of photos?" Where she would respond, "Yes, I am." He asks, "You saw those photos?" She replies, "I didn't see them, but she called me, and then they came over. She was in Tallahassee during that time, and she told me about them." Now, many are believing that this is a motive for YNW Melly to commit this crime, as Sakchaser, trying to mess with his at-the-time girlfriend, may have not sat with him correctly. However, there was one more motive that would pop up. While going through YNW Sakchaser's cell phone, the feds would realize that he was offered a record deal. This record deal would be for $200,000, and it would be with the same record deal that YNW Melly is signed to, known as 300 Entertainment. However, just prior to Sakchaser getting offered this record deal, YNW Melly's mom would post this video to her Facebook.
Show me text messages from Sakchaser, all her friends, and all these people. Like, he's about this life, but I'm sitting here like, who you ever out at? What you ever did? You couldn't even take charge. If you don't sit your down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what you got that I ain't got? Oh, you your little... I got big... At the end of the day, Melly is my child.
Now this would create a real mystery for law enforcement. Why would YNW Melly do this crime if his best friend was just about to join his record label? So they had to investigate further. To find answers, the police attempted to subpoena 300 Entertainment for their investigation to find answers. However, the detective explained that the company refused to honor their subpoena. The feds would then ask YNW Sakchaser's mom, wondering if she knew anything about a record deal, 200 grand, and so on. Jana Thompson did know something about a $200,000 payment, although she didn't know exactly who it was from or what it was for. She did say that her son reached out to her a few days before he sadly passed, where she says, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts. He was just concerned, like something is gonna happen to us. And then he told me that he would not get his money." She continued saying, he said, "I'm probably not gonna get my $200,000. I'm probably not gonna get my money." Now there's rumors speculating the fact that maybe YNW Melly didn't think that Sakchaser deserved the $200,000 for going after his ex-girlfriend and having issues with his mom. However, we're gonna have to wait till deeper into the trial for the true answer. But with the motives being shared in the courtroom, we would even get more concerning information. The announcement of, and I quote, "Judge lowers threshold for the penalty if YNW Melly is convicted by granting a motion to allow jurors to recommend the penalty sentence with an 8-4 vote instead of the usual 12-0. On the first day of the YNW Melly trial, the judge decided to put the penalty back onto the table. However, he made it really easy for it to happen, as the new court files released even more concerning information. The headline of the new papers filed by Melly's lawyers state, "Motion to request enforced discovery cutoff," with details stating, on or about April 10th, 2023, jury selection commenced. On April 14th, 2023, the state of Florida filed an 18-page report pertaining to forensic testing on the vehicle subject matter to the case. Then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed supplemental discovery, adding 3 new witnesses. Then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed a 68-page report on the crash date system. In the vehicle where Sakchaser and Juvy are believed to have been affected, alongside 2 additional reports authored by Detective Williams. This is all very concerning. For context, right when the jury was selected and trial was set to begin, the feds would slam a surprise 68-page report of evidence against Melly to the judge. This now gives Melly and his lawyers 0 time to prepare defenses. However, just around a year ago, Melly's music manager 100K Track would confirm Melly does have great defenses on his side.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.